Hi guys, so today I'm in a Transit Custom and it's been converted to a campervan spec, which is fantastic. And if you follow the channel, you know I love a campervan, you know I love a van in general, so best of both worlds with this thing. It's done 53,000 miles, it's a 2016 and it's got a great conversion on it. It's got the pop top very similar to what we had in the Volkswagen Transporter, which is on the straps that you pull down and tighten up, and then when you set it off up, all the rams to get it up in the air. It's also got the double bed upstairs as well, so we've got the rock and roll bed down below for sleeping at night time. We've also got that, when the roof goes up, we've got the board there which you throw your mattress and your pillows on and stuff like that, and you've got space for sleeping another two. So this vehicle, as with the Transporter, will comfortably seat 5 people. So 2 in the back on the rock and roll bed when it's in its upright position, and 3 in the front of the vehicle. When you get there, obviously we've got sleeping for 4 because we've got 2 double beds. But what I've also seen done with these sorts of vehicles, and this hasn't got it, but you buy them and they're very, very cheap to buy, is you can buy like a hammock bed that goes over the cabin. So if you want to sleep a child in there or something like that, they could sleep quite comfortably, swinging them a little hammock in the cab area. So in theory, it seats 5 and it can sleep 5 as well. The van's a high specification. We've got Bluetooth phone on the thing. We've got electric mirrors, electric windows. We've got I do like these Transit Customs. They're really nice. There's plenty of 12-volt sockets about. There's plenty of USB ports about. There's storage on the top of the dash. There's a glove box down there. There's a bit more storage down here. There's big bins and bottle holders everywhere. So they are a great van. I really do like these. And the passenger seat lifts up and you can stick more stuff down there. It's also had the RS lettering put on the seat covers. So you've got like a leather ribbed seat in the front that's got the RS logo on, the Ford RS logo on, which looks really, really nice. It really does sort of make it look stylish and sporty. And then the back seats on that rock and roll bed, again, are done in the leather with the ribbed. It's not got the RS logo on them, but it just sort of finishes it off nicely and ties everything in together. The headlining's all been trimmed on the door. The headlining and all the sidewalls have all been trimmed in like a grey auto fabric, which looks really, really nice. There's plenty of insulation in there, so actually on a day like this, whilst I'm moaning driving along because I'm sat in front with a load of glass, the side windows are all tinted, the insulation's there, so it's not actually that hot in the back. In winter, it keeps the heating in the back, which is great. They're a fantastic thing. When they're converted right, these things, they're great, and I really do love Volkswagen Transporter, and Volkswagen's got the name of from the campervan back in the day, and the split screen and everything like that. But I think these new Transit Customs are fantastic. So I converted two Volkswagen Transporters into campervans myself. And when I did, I actually went to Ford and looked at a brand new Transit Custom to do it with. The way Ford measure these new vans, so it was just as these Transit Customs had come out, and I was thinking at the time, how does this compare to the old square style Transit, and where is that? So they said, no, we've done away with Transits of all the long wheelbase and short wheelbase and all these different things, of that boxy version, a big one and a high roof and all this sort of stuff. They've now got the Transit van, which is the big high roof long wheelbase, and then aside from that they do this, the Custom, obviously the Connect and other vehicles as well, but the Custom's the regular Transit van. And they said with the Transit van, what they have is they have an L1 and an L2, which is the 2 different wheelbases, and you can identify that quite easily because the sort of body panel, the plastic covering on the side of the vehicle has a gap between that and the rear wheel arch if it's the L2, and it doesn't if it's the L1, so that's how you identify the long and short wheelbase. And then there's the H1 and the H2, so one's got more headroom than the other. This is actually an L2 H2, and it doesn't really matter so much with the height of this because you've got the pop top, so once you get to your destination you send it up and you've got plenty of room inside regardless of whether you've got a H1 or a H2. Obviously the L1, L2 kicks in a little bit when you want more space in the back, but absolutely tons of room in the back of this thing. And it's been done to a high standard. You've got, as I said, that pop top on top that's got the bed in there as well, which is great, and I think that really adds resale value to it when you want to sell this thing in the future. But it also, makes it so much more practical. And the two-seater, sorry, the five-seater, but with sleep two, is great. And if there's just a couple of you, it's fantastic. And if you've got a small child, as I say, you can put the hammock in the front. But these things really, really do go for a lot more money, and you can sort of get your money back when you're selling them. If you've gone for the one that's got that can able to sleep four, because we've gone from a 2-berth to a 4-berth, and a lot of people who have these things have got a young family, and they want to be able to, you know, all go away on holiday together and all go off for the summer holidays. So I think it really does make a difference, and that's what's great about these things, really. The conversion in the back, I'll get in and I'll show you. It's really, really nice the way they've done it, and you've got the standard. It's the same sink and hob that everyone uses. I used to use it in mine. They're a really, really nice finish. You have a fresh water tank and a used water tank underneath, and the pump's electronically operated with a tap. Then you have a two burner hob, which is obviously gas, and you can cook on there. Most people don't tend to cook on there. Most people tend to cook outside in them because it just keeps the smell down. You don't want bacon burning in the back of your van and the smell stinging around for a few weeks. But you have got the option to do that. If it's lashing it down, you can do that. You've technology's there in the rear window, why all manufacturers haven't come up with a way of getting around that and putting it on the front windscreen, because it's just literally a minute on a snowy, icy morning. You tap that button and it's clear and we're ready to go. And it just works really, really well. And the same again, if you've been camping and you know, we get a frosty morning or a cold morning, it's all misted up or something like that. Especially with camping, because if we've been away for the night in this, we've been breathing all night, we come up in the morning, the chances are the windows are going to be a bit misted up, and we might want to pack everything away, we might want to go. Well, we could wind the windows down and leave it to air for a little bit. We just touch that button and it's clear and it's ready to go, so it's ideal as a camper conversion, this van, which obviously it's been used for. We've also got parking sensors on the thing which can be turned on and off. I think the two best vans for doing this too are this and the Volkswagen Transporter. I do like the Mercedes Vito as well for it, but I just don't think this has got the car-like driving ability of it, so it's very easy to drive, and it's got the same sort of height as a Transporter. The Transporter's got the heritage and the name behind it, that's where that comes in. But in the back, you wouldn't have a clue whether you're in the Transporter or the custom. And it's been done, as I say, to a very high standard, and it really, really, it just excites me, something like this, because I just think, you know what's behind you, you know what's to come when you get there, you know, you're all sat in the vehicle, kids are in the back, you and the partner in the front, and you're on your way somewhere, and you get there, and that roof goes up, and the hob goes on with the kettle on, and you get you might get some ice cold drinks out the fridge, some ice pops out for the kids, and you just sort of away. It's just, they're a magical space, really. We're now on 34 degrees, so we're getting a bit warmer as we're driving, so I am perspiring slightly. But as I said, they're a great vehicle, and I can't wait to show you inside the back. Okay, so as we get into the back of this thing, we can see, the camera view might be a bit wonky here, but hopefully you can see some of what we've got. So obviously you can see this rock and roll bed. Now the way this rock and roll bed works is really, really nice and really, really simple. I really like the design on this one. Sometimes they're a bit too many handles and not needed. So the way it works, there's a red handle down here. It might just be off camera slightly. That's a brake. You release that, and as you release that, you grab hold of the bed from underneath and just pull it out. And as you pull it, you will feel some resistance because the seat belts are fighting against you with this. But if you pull it far enough, there we go. So the thing's now down, and you've got the seat belts there, so you put your sheets over the top, put your duvet on, put your pillows on, and we're good to go. You can also see just about the back there the table on the leg. I'll get that out shortly and show you that. I'll show you that actually from the rear of the vehicle. But you can see now how easy this is to use. You've got there's your first double bedding thing. To put it back up, it's a case of grab hold of the seat belts, because if you take the slack out the seat belts, these become really handy handles. And then it's a case of feeding them back in. And there we go, we're back now. And all we need to do now is just lock that handle. In fact, the handle's actually gone back itself, so as the seats have locked back into place, they've actually put the brake on themselves, which is great, so stops them moving about. These are pull tested seats, so they're MOT and insurance compliant for two-way passengers while on the move. We've got full seat belts on them as well. So that gives you an idea of sort of what can go on there. I'll take you around to the rear of the vehicle. I'll just show you the table at the rear and we'll bring it in and I'll show you where that goes. So at the rear of the vehicle, if we open this up, there's two things I want to show you here. Firstly, we've got these two little seats that form part of the bed, so these are great to sit on and have a cup of tea and look out at the world, and you know, I think it's really nice the way they've sort of adapted that and made that work. We've got some underlocker storage there, which is for under the seats, and this is the table I was talking about. So move these two catches, the thing lifts out. So if we bring this into the front of the van, what we have, that slides across and releases the lock on that, and this clicks onto that rail, and we've now got a table that can be there, it can be there, and it can, you know, can go whichever way we want with it. So I think that's really, really nice and handy. And as I said, tucks away nice and easily. Falls down as easy as it went up and back into the back. Okay, so what other things have we got in this vehicle? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut this door so that I can turn the camera on and show you this side of the van. So it's a bit of a funny camera angle, but hopefully you can see where we're at with it. So over here we've got the double hob, which is great, and we've got a sink there with a tap that comes up, and this is actually an electronically operated switch, and as we open that then sends power to the pump and sends the water flowing through. We've got a double 240 socket, which won't actually work on the my leisure battery, but it will work when we plug into an electric hookup at a campsite, something like that. We've got some 12-volt outlets there, some USB. Up here we can turn the lights on, might shine a bit of light on the situation, see if that helps a little. We've got anything that's on the auxiliary, and we've got the pump there as well for the water. Plenty of lockers around the place, which is great, looks really nice. Plenty of storage and a practical application. Now, if I may, I'll just show you the roof on the thing, and sorry, down here we've got the fridge with the freezer box, which is great. On here we've got sort of clean and dirty water from the sink, and so it's very, very practical and lots of storage everywhere you turn on this thing. I'll just turn you around now, I'll just show you the roof and how that works. So what we've got, I've just fastened these round here because these things do get in the way in a bit, so it's a case of putting some clips around them or shoving them around, things like that. So what happens is we release the tension on these straps. So we release that like that. Same on this side. Really, really quick and pain-free process this. Okay, we go like that, and then all it's a case of is giving it a little push. So what I'll do is I am going to hang on to these just so they doesn't go wandering off too quickly. But as you can see, that's now up. We've still got restricted headroom, so what we do, we give this a little push. Everything's on hydraulics. So now look at that standing space that creates. It's fantastic. But what we've also got then is if we pull this back down, you can't see it on camera there, but I'll put a different camera angle so we can see. We've got a bed up there, which is fantastic for your separate sleeping arrangement. So I pull that down, and we've now got, not very clear on camera, a bit dark, but we've now got a bed up there, which is a great sleeping area. Plenty of room and a proper double bed. And then to get it back down, there's actually two handles on it. So what we can do is we can give it a little pull. That's the right one. Give it a little pull. And there is two handles we can grab hold of should we want to. It's purely because I'm a bit short that I can't grab all the way from higher up, but if you could, then all the better. We tighten these things up, and we do need to make sure these are nice and tight, because this is what's going to stop the roof wandering off while we're out and about. And again, as I said, personally, I'd just fasten them around there like that. Just keeps everything nice and tidy and out of the way. So that's at the back of the thing really, that's how it goes up and down, that's how the back seats work, and it's a really, really nice finish. We've got these little blinds that come across at night time, which is great, gives a little bit of privacy. It's a great vehicle really. So I hope you've enjoyed that video, and if you have, please do smash that like button. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so that you get notified of all the new content that I drop, and I'll see you all very soon.